So here we are, map number 1 of this best of 3. King Sejong Station is gonna be the host of this, and I'm well excited because these two are awesome players. Down in the bottom right, we've got the red Zerg. He plays for Team Acer. It's Bly. And his opponent up to the top left-hand position, the yellow Protoss, representing Russian Universe of Warhammer, MetHix. So, game 1 of a best of 3, Zerg versus Protoss, and a 2-player map. What kind of things do we think we could be seeing coming down here? To be honest, there's so many viable things, but a lot of it is likely to be down to the opening of what MetHix decides to do. Will it be Stargates? Will it be fast expansions? Will it be big Zealot pushes, big gateway pushes? Will it be DTs? Will it be a Robo Immortal play? Who knows? Anything going on? So, a request from my Twitch chat. Do I remember my first broadcast? Yes. If you mean Twitch broadcast, definitely. If you mean my first ever cast, I do remember that. It's still actually up on my YouTube channel. It was terrible. Mainly because I was recording it with the mic from my webcam, which was just atrocious. And while I had quite a bit of fun, my overlays were just nothing. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I stumbled over words, that sort of stuff. So it was quite interesting to look back on it. It was great fun though, and I remember just loving it. And I got a couple of hundred views on it, and I sat there to myself and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this if I get like 10 views. That'll be good, guys. And then I got like 200 or 300. I got like 1,000 views in my first week, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Hashtag caster dollars, and then I realized ad revenue on YouTube pays nowhere near that much. So I was just like, sad face. Anyway, back to this game. Now I've told that awesome story, and we're sitting here with a Cybercore, 2 gases out from MetHix, who's opened up with a gateway expand. Bly knows this. Overlord has already floated on by. He's just like, you do not have a Nexus there, bro. And so he's going to be looking what's coming. Nexus should be coming on its way. Behind this, Bly, he's played it pretty awesome, actually. Was this hatch pool? No, it can't have been. This was a hatch first into a spawning pool into a super fast 3rd hatchery. That's some cool times. Meanwhile, should be pretty safe. Nothing too bad can happen off the back of this. A gate expand can't really punish it too much. Just waiting to see exactly what MetHix throws down. He's got, obviously, his mothership core out now. Warp gate tech on its way. No units produced, but a decent trickle-in of gas. Meanwhile, Bly, he doesn't have any gas yet. Doesn't need any gas yet. He's more just worried about getting that D key pressed all the way down and getting as many drones as he possibly can. 2 Lings coming out. That's great. Gives him a bit of scouting information. Interestingly, this Overlord not quite here yet, but this Overlord's going to come and chill over here. The downside to putting it there now is because the mothership core's already out, it's got high ground vision. But there isn't a stalk or anything to threaten it yet. So, sentry on the way through. Otherwise, there really isn't too much. And yeah, just going to be a fast forge. Quick upgrades going to be coming through. MetHix not really committing to much. And to be honest, Bly, we're about 5 minutes 20. He's still just worrying about droning as hard as he possibly can. As we can see from that. He's going to be wanting to grab up to around 40-ish gas. Actually getting 40-ish drones rather. These 2 gases are coming down pretty quick. Generally a bit sooner than you normally would expect to see them. This is going to open up options to obviously get Zergling speed down. Double upgrades going. A Roach Warren fast. Potentially on how many more gases he grabs in the near future. May lead into a Mutalisk style composition. But the key thing he's going to want to know is what's coming at me. He's seen the forge, he's seen the 1 gate, knows there's 2 additional gates here. So that's actually a fairly good vision of what his opponent's doing. If we look at his gang, he missed a bit there and a bit there, but can't see any pylons. Going to know 100% what is happening. It's just some 3-gate pressure, no key tech structures yet. So the response to this is still more drones. He's just hit 100 gas, going to go straight into the lair timing. No Roach Warren yet, which is quite interesting. With no Roach Warren, this could very well be some super fast Mutalisks. Could be Ling Hydra composition. I'd probably lean towards Zergling Hydra, to be honest, because if he tries to go straight into Mutas, that would cause him some problems. Spawning pool, obviously researching Zergling speed. We've got the Roach Warren also coming through. And the Roach Warren is quite a late timing on that. But no pressure coming out yet. This Overlord will unfortunately die. Supply blocks Bly. That's quite frustrating. But no, still no real key tech. Twilight Council will allow +2 to get started. Really important. Also going to allow Blink, Charge, and potentially Templar Archives. If Bly does go towards Roach Hydra, that I'm expecting him to, you're going to want some kind of splash as a Protoss player against that. Third base now gets taken at just past the 8-minute mark, and Bly has finished up his lair, so he can start Roach Speed. With Roach Speed coming down ultra quick and no upgrades yet, we could be seeing a big aggressive play thrown out from Bly. Really, we just need to see what he's got planned, but he knows about the third. This alleviates any threat that this is some kind of all-in, and really, we're probably going to want, or Bly's going to want to try and cancel that third for the most part. He's going to want to pump units. May just try and flood through. Knows there isn't too much to defend this because it's relatively early. His Overseer getting a good little view. Knows Blink's on its way now, or Charge. Doesn't know for sure which it is, but can assume Blink. Evo Chamber now being added in, as well as Burrow Tech coming down. I'd love to see Tunneling Claws follow on from Roach Speed. That could lead to some really interesting mid-game shenanigans. But for the most part, this is looking very passive. Bly has lost some stuff, but it's mainly in the form of a Queen and an Overlord. That Overseer also going down. But MetHix, he hasn't taken a single loss yet this game. Macro Hatch also coming through. Bly knows he needs to up his production, but doesn't quite feel confident taking a fourth as of yet. Creep spread not really pushed far enough forward. Doesn't have enough units on the field. Little move out now by MetHix. He's sitting on 6 gates once he's made these 3 into 4th gates. So by no means is this a big investment. Ooh, Roach counter-attacking a sneak through. This could be really fun. Bit of indecision coming out from Bly. Gonna probably go and try and find that proxy pylon. These Roaches have been discovered now. May force a pullback from MetHix. We'll wait to see exactly what he wants to do. But if the pylon dies, it's going to be really difficult to continue on with this pressure. So MetHix for the moment, just going to be moving on in. Got a decent chunk of units here, and Bly needs to get out more very rapidly. Good force fields, zone out a lot of those Roaches, preventing it getting hugged up on, but they come round, forcing a mass recall to prevent too many sentries dying. Roaches get a few more kills, but overall, very little damage done on either side. Nothing drastic, nothing scary. Really happy though, because we do see Bly adding in that Tunneling Claws upgrade. Meanwhile, over on MetHix side, we've got the Robotics Bay getting Colossi on the cards, +3 also on its way through. But it's actually going to be a little sneak around here. Roaches can be seen, so instantly units should get pulled over in order to defend this. Quick warp in of a few additional Stalkers. Remember, Blink is done. Should be able to thwart most of this. Force fields along here could be very big, but they missed the mark. A lot of Roaches get up here. Blink needs to be good now from MetHix if he wants to hold this. Photon Overcharge also coming through. How much damage can these Roaches do? They've got no upgrades at the moment. That means up against the +2 Blink Stalkers, they're not going to trade well in the slightest. Fast Burrow. Observer coming over though. He's going to be able to grant that detection. And down goes a lot of Roaches. That was not a successful push by Bly in the slightest in terms of workers killed. 2 in terms of units lost. A lot. Resources lost really shows exactly what we're looking at there. So, as it stands, Bly needs this 4th base up, and he needs some kind of transition out, because for the most part, MetHix has just been left to his own devices. He sat there going, do you know what? I've got pretty much everything that I want. I've got 3 base economy, which I got up nice and early. I've got my Colossus tech on the way through. I've got some great upgrades. And I know my opponent's struggling a little. He doesn't have any upgrades yet, and that's always annoying. Photon Cannon coming down at the back of the natural, just making sure that he is aware of everything that could be coming through. And with a wall off, those burrowed Roaches aren't going to sneak by. And Burrow was revealed, remember, at the natural base. A couple of burrowed Roaches moving forward. Can't be seen yet, but they do spot the Colossus. That's always nice. Quick unburrow, few probes, going to go down here. Always annoying when you lose a couple of workers, but this is the first real damage Bly's been able to achieve so far. Pylon's getting taken down, and Gateway could get focused too, but this is a tough area to be in. There's still 7 sentries in MetHix army, which could force field this off really nicely. Still waiting to see if Bly's going to try and find a nice way to attack, but for the moment, he's got a lot banking on these Mutalisks. And while normally a big Muta switch can be very effective, there's a lot of Blink Stalkers with +3. That is scary as hell. So Bly has to keep this pressure on. May get a Colossus for free here, or not for free, but he may get a Colossus for pretty much nothing. It's undefended. And that's a nice pickup. Very, very important unit in MetHix's army. He's also getting a ton of probes as this comes through, as MetHix frantically tries to get back to defend. Big Blink forward, uses Blink offensively to get back into a defensive spot. But with nice force fields, with that massive upgrade advantage, MetHix is going to hold this. He's lost 12 workers now. But it's the Mutas coming into the third that could be the real damage dealers. They need to focus down the probes ASAP. They need to get the good damage down as fast as they can, because these Blink Stalkers are going to tear them absolutely apart. Into the main they go. There's no cannons here yet, some just being made, but the Blink Stalkers have good mobility across this map. They can get from the third up into the main easily. Couple more probes will die, but another big blink forward takes out even more Mutas. Bly though pushing in with additional roaches, really trying to force the multitasking out of MetHix, who for the moment is faring quite well, has lost a substantial number of probes, but in overall army composition, he's just got a very scary looking force. The only downside is that he's only got the 1 Colossus at the moment. May need some more of those if he wants this to go longer term, but hey, it comes down to the pure Stalker count up against these Mutas. There's not that much there in order to really do much with these Mutalisks. But the flock is getting quite large. 24 Mutas, 37 Stalkers. And now MetHix is losing a lot. These Mutalisks are just being allowed to rampage. And we may actually see a base race come down from MetHix. It would be an alright decision for him if it weren't for the links, because Mutalisks don't base trade well. But with so many Zerglings flooding across the map, they've got a high damage output, even with only the 1-1. Very nicely done here by Bly. He takes out the natural base. Some force fields repeatedly into the main should keep MetHix safe there, and he's forcing back all of those Mutas and all of those links. Army supply just favours Bly. 25 Mutas are going to be facing 10 sentries and 36 Stalkers. The Archon is there as well, but not in the mix. The link count, 71, but the force fields can zone those out easily. Still MetHix pushes forward, doesn't have a mothership core in order to mass recall out. Small gap in the force fields allows those lings through, that's the big problem. Now gets sealed, the Stalker's trying to face off against this Guardian Shield, definitely going to be helping. But down all the sentries go, in come the Zerglings. Bly getting a huge amount of damage down now. But can he stop this force? The Stalker count plummeting, 22 up against 16 more Mutas. But the Zergling count, that's diminished too. The upgrades are good for MetHix, but it's not going to be enough. The Stalkers just getting picked apart. Behind this, economically, there's nothing for MetHix. The third, the natural dead, the main, basically mined out. Bly is still in a good spot. Despite losing his 4th, he's got a 5th base over on the other side of the map, and his drone count is still looking good. So to recap all of that, there was just some crazy things going on. But ultimately, Bly got enough Mutas out where he's been able to trade alright. The important thing is he doesn't lose these Mutalisks now, because there's Stalkers and an Archon there. And the Muta flock is no longer as numerous as it was before. But if Bly bides his time, he's got a big army. This could be a small problem though. That 4th has now been discovered. The debris in the raid to prevent the quick reinforcements. Can these Mutas and Roaches get over here? This is really all MetHix has. In come the Roaches now. The force fields nowhere really to be seen, just one. Down goes that Archon, down goes the sentries with the Roaches hugging up on the Stalkers. Bly is getting himself into an even better position. He should pretty much have this game in the bag now at 150 supply. GG called, and Bly will take map number 1 of this best of 3.